How's it going, everybody? I'm Steve Ninja, and welcome back to my channel. So tonight I want to do a ranking from a band it's got 12 studio albums, and it probably has the most innovative guitar player of all time, even topping Jimi Hendrix. Eddie Van Halen, such a legend, and we all miss him. So at number 12, this one should surprise no one. It's from 1998. It's Van Halen 3. After that Best Of collection that came out in 1996. Everyone assumed that David Lee Roth was back in the band, and then they surprised everybody. That's something that Eddie Van Halen would do. Just when everyone can predict what they're going to do, he does something completely different. But this one's got there's probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 songs that I think they're okay on this. Without You, Fire in the Hole, Josephina, maybe Once is not bad. I don't know. It's one I don't listen to very often. Number 11, this one's probably, some people might have this a little bit higher, depending on if you really like the Sammy Hagar era, but this is from 1995. I'm not going to show the actual cover. It's going to be an edited version, just so I won't get in trouble with YouTube, but I've got Balance at number 11. This is, Sammy Hagar and Eddie Van Halen were not getting along well on this at all, and it kind of shows in the music. It just doesn't seem like they're really united as a band in this, but Amsterdam, Feelin', Can't Stop Loving You, it has some decent stuff on it, but Aftershock I think was pretty good, but I'm sure I know some people that like this was their introduction to the Van Halen, and I think a lot of people probably would rank this a little bit higher. I know some people that love this era that may rank this as the highest of the 4 albums from Hagar, from Van Hagar, as a lot of people would say, but for me, I've got it at number 11 though. At number 10, I know a lot of people are not going to like this, especially if you like the original Roth era. But this is from 1982. I have Diver Down. The album's full of covers. I love Little Guitar's intro and Little Guitar's, Dancing in the Streets, not too bad. Oh Pretty Woman. I knew somebody that was a huge Van Halen fan, and I told him, that the Kinks, the Van Halen did 2 Kinks covers. And he did not realize that Where Have All the Good Times Gone was a cover. And I don't think I even knew that either until I heard the Kinks, like one of their Best Of collections, and that song came on. I thought, wait a minute, that's a cover? I always thought it was a Van Halen original when I was a kid. I couldn't read liner notes at the time. I didn't have like the albums. I just heard the songs on the radio, so I didn't know that. But like half of this are cover tunes. So they did this. They kind of threw this together, and I think originally they wanted to be maybe a single or maybe a short EP, and then the record company wanted them to do a full album. And I just think it just kind of shows here, just having that many covers. But in the Roth era, they had a ton of covers, and they did some really good ones too. But that's where I have it though. So at number 9, this one, I'm sure a lot of people will have this a lot higher if you really like David Lee Roth, but it's from 2012. It's A Different Kind of Truth. It was great to have Roth come back and do, to sing with the band. A lot of these songs were kind of, I think, from the 70s, and they kind of brought them back. It definitely has that kind of the 70s kind of sound to them. A lot of people hate Tattoo. I don't really mind that song all that much. Chinatown, Bullet Head, As Is. Really like the song Stay Frosty. But that's where I have it at number 9. At number 8, I'm sure a lot of people that hate the Hagar era are going to hate that I have this so high, but it's from 1988. I have OE812. I know at the time I really hated hearing Eddie play a synthesizer, but it has a Black and Blue, Cabo Wabo, Feel So Good, Finish What You Started, Mine Oh Mine, When It's Love. It's not terrible, but those synthesizers really kind of take away. Having one of the greatest guitar players of all time playing synthesizer kind of took away from it. People that love the late 70s, early 80s Van Halen, where Eddie's just shredding, that kind of stuff. You kind of took away from a lot of that when he's not playing guitar all the time on the Hagar era. At number 7 from 1991, I have For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge. Everyone knows what the acronym is for this. I don't have to tell you, but there's some really good, really commercial songs on this. But it was really nice to hear Van Halen come back with more of a rock record with more guitars on it instead of synthesizer throughout. But Pound Cake, Judgment Day, a Run Around, it has a Man on a Mission, has a Right Now, Top of the World, some good stuff on there. But it was nice to hear them come back and do something that was more of a rock album than the one before this. But that's what I have at number 7. At number 6 from 1986, I have 5150. This is the first album with Sammy Hagar. Just based, there are 9 tracks on this, based on 5 songs on this, really kind of make this album really great for me, really memorable. Why Can't This Be Love, Dreams, Summer Nights, Best of Both Worlds, Love Walks In. Just those 5 songs alone kind of make this really good. And it's really heavy on synthesizer. This is when Eddie decided he wasn't going to be the virtuoso guitar player that he was before, but people still loved it. And it was, after losing David Lee Roth, people kind of thought Van Halen would just completely fall off the map. But I like this album. But number 6, I don't have it extremely high, but I have the Roth, those 5 Roth albums higher. But from Hagar, I really still like this album. So this top 5, I think all these albums are really great. I'm sure that people are going to rush to the keyboards as soon as they hear this number 5. But from 1981, Fair Warning. This is kind of like the Power Age or Led Zeppelin 3 from Van Halen. And it's just an album people just aren't sick of because there weren't a ton of songs from this that were played on the radio over and over. That's why people really love these albums like that. They can just listen to it without ever getting sick of them. But Mean Street, has Unchained, Dirty Movies, Center Swing, some really great stuff on this. But that's where I have it, number 5. At number 4 from 1980, I have Women and Children First. Some great songs on this, and The Cradle Will Rock, Everybody Wants Some, Fools, one of their more underrated songs, Romeo Delight, Could This Be Magic? I'm not going to list all the songs, necessarily, but really great album, though. At number 3 from 1984, I have the album 1984. This I was 11 years old when this was released originally. Definitely means a lot to me. Definitely big on the MTV circuit. Has a Jump, Panama, Top Jimmy, Drop Dead Legs, Hot for Teacher. Still love I'll Wait. Love House of Pain. I love this. It maybe has some nostalgia with me. I'm sure some people may not have this ranked as high, but I really love it though. So now we're down to our top 2. This one's probably going to upset some people here, but from 1978, I have their debut album at number 2. Great songs on this. Run With the Devil, Eruption. When people heard that, they went crazy. You Really Got Me, the Kinks cover. Ain't Talking About Love. Jamie's Crying. Atomic Punk. Ice Cream Man. Little Dreamer. Really great stuff on this. But so number 1 from 1979, I have Van Halen 2. I probably have this at number 1 just because I like every song on it. Even the cover, You're No Good. It's not, pretty good song. Dance the Night Away. Some of the Get Me a Doctor is a really great song. Bottoms Up. Out of Love Again. Light of the Sky. Come on, one of the best Van Halen songs ever. Spanish Fly. DOA. Women in Love. Beautiful Girls. Come on. That's why I did debut album so great. But I just thought they topped it with having 10 great songs on their second album. And most bands have a sophomore slump. I think this is one of the best second albums from any band, really. So that's why I have it. So like I say, please leave in the comments. Please give me your top 5 or your top 12 or whatever, top 10, whatever you want. Let me know. But like I said, your list is not going to match my list. Some people may have Van Halen 2 at number 1, but a lot of people probably have the debut album. So and you're not wrong. There are really no wrong answers, like I say. So please leave in the comments. Like my AC/DC ranking. That one's the highest, most views I've ever had for any video. It's like over 4,000 views. So I hope to get something like that from Van Halen, just because it's such a great band, from a great guitar player that we all lost. But that's all I have tonight. Please put a like on this video if you like my content, and have a good night. Thank you. Bye.